Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Now this is an M43. I know it's an M43 because it's got the big fat barrel, and the big fat barrel, which is short, is the 8-inch howitzer. Now this one is on the attacking spawn of Sand River Assault, and it's being driven by Diving Duck. Right, Diving Duck is heading off to the west side of the map for his firing position. Generally, on the whole, this is a safe part of the map to be in because most of the defenders tend to stay away from this area until the end of the game. If their team is defeated, then the enemy might actually move into this area, try to clean out the remaining enemy. Okay, right, well, he's extending his aim and he's looking for a target. Now he's looking directly down the riverbed, which is usually a good source of targets during the initial stages of an assault battle, because the enemy scouts will try to get to the ridgeline to spot the assault team as they're coming in and give the tank destroyers up in the dunes something to fire at. And that means the tank destroyers will be sitting on the dunes, and Diving Duck is actually looking at the dunes right now. Right, we've seen a target appear in grid square F7. It's an AMX M451. It's not a scout, it's a heavy. He's decided to go up and do a bit of work on the ridgeline there, on that ramp. He's working that side of the riverbed. Oh, there's another one. It's an AMX CDC. Now, he is acting as a scout, using what we know as Quickie Baby's ramp, as he was the first one who actually showed on Twitch how that ramp can actually be accurately used to defend against an assault by spotting the attacking team. And we've got a T10 there, also in the riverbed, but that's a bit of a misplaced to be in because from there he can actually be hit quite nicely. And that's a good hit. 375 hit points and 2 critical hits and a nice stun. He thought he could go in there and attack the IS-3 and the Carnarvon, who are coming down the one line. But it appears that all these stuns exposed himself to Arty fire. You notice how the top northwest quadrant of the map is virtually empty of tanks. So it shows how this is a good Arty firing position. Okay, it's almost loaded. Round out. Direct hit. 281 hit points, 2 critical hits. Unfortunately, just lost a Jagdtiger 88 who was seen. Okay, but that AMX CDC is coming up again. Now, one of the drawbacks of the 8-inch howitzer is it does have a rather long reload. Diving Duck has got a well-practiced crew, but he's still got a 37.2 second reload for this Arty. And, of course, they can only carry 16 rounds in total. But seeing it takes 37.2 seconds to load... Oh, big hit there on the AMX 5100. 487 hit points, 2 critical hits. Seeing as it takes so long to load, it means they have to pick their targets well, because you've only got a limited number of shots in the entire battle, seeing as the battle only lasts 10 minutes. So you have to select who you're going to shoot at. You're probably not going to use all your ammo during an assault battle. You probably will during a standard battle. But that AMX 5100 is being a bit silly. The other tank was actually hiding behind the mosque, and he's paying for it, because although he couldn't be seen, that shell did hit the target. We didn't see an explosion. We did see the wall of the mosque fall down. So that AMX must have suffered a really big hit. Okay, we can't do anything about that Type 4 heavy at the moment. The Carnarvon and the IS-3 are going to have to defend themselves until Diving Duck's ready to shoot again. But he can certainly do a lot of damage to that Type 4 heavy, and seeing as how close that T-32 is, he'll probably splash that as well and or stun it. Round out. Good hit! He did stun both tanks. The T-32 was just far enough away that it didn't actually suffer any splash. But unfortunately, we've lost the Carnarvon. The Type 4 Heavy took him out. It's got a very big and powerful gun, the Type 4 Heavy. It's amusing to me, actually, that some of these Super Heavies actually have almost as long a reload time as the M44. And yet, the M44 is now being suggested to be nerfed by Wargaming, saying it's doing too much damage. Oh, an even better shot that time! He got it right into the side of the Type 4 Heavy. He did 395 hit points of damage to the Type 4 and 68 hit points to the Type 32 or T32. And he's picking up masses of stun assists now that the Type 4 Heavy has been taken out of the game. And there's the Emil 2 lining up for the next shot. Still 13 seconds to go. He's got 10 rounds of HE left. It's just standard HE, so it's relatively cheap. It's actually more expensive than most rounds, but it does a lot of damage. Round out, direct hit again. Really good hit. We just don't know how much damage it is, simply because the Emil can't be seen. Now, they're one tank down at the moment, but that's not a problem because they are doing a lot of damage. The ISM is moving further up the riverbank, and the AMX CDC is going up over the top of that ridgeline. So they should spot the Emil 2 very shortly, and we'll have an idea of how much damage was done. Oh, quite a lot! He's down to 38% of his health. And you can see where the shell impacted, right on the front plate. Oh, and that shell went right over his top! Right over his top! He must have seen his life flash before his eyes. But that shell flashed right over his head instead. Oh dear. That's such a pity. And the Emil's pulling back because he just took a massive hit. And now he's been taken out of the game. He was killed by the CDC. But what have we got down here? Well, there's a number of tanks down here, including an AT-15, which is up on the rise there. And we've lost sight of him for the moment. Diving Duck's holding fire. He's waiting until he can actually see the target. None of the enemy can be seen at this moment. We're now one tank ahead. Well, there's a Wizzy 111-1FT, the Chinese tank destroyer. He's dialing in and he's getting requests for fire, and he's now marked his target. Round out. Oh, we thought it was going to pull forward, but he's still got a direct hit. 368 hit points. So he's up to 2.2k damage already, direct damage, and 1.7k of stun assist. Now, a Scorpion was seen on the 2 line right at the back. But for the moment, we are stuck. Oh, he's been seen. He was seen by that T10. It's the closest tank that must have seen him. So he needs to get into the dunes quickly. Otherwise that T10, as I said, you know, in cases like this where they are losing, and they did lose the Carnarvon, they lost the IS-3, and they lost the CDC. In fact, they're starting to lose a lot of their tanks. They're now 1 tank down, 2 tanks down, and it means that the enemy are now starting to invade the northwest corner. Okay, there's a Tiger 2 sitting in the cap. It is a reasonably good target. He should fire the moment he's dialed in. He does. Round out. Well, doesn't appear to have done anything. Okay, he's been seen again. That's awkward. The moment you've been spotted, obviously, ow, the T10. Yep, it was the T10, and he did come up onto the northwest corner. Diving Duck's direction indicator should suggest that he was firing from the very position that Diving Duck was firing from a short while ago. And it looks as if this battle's lost. Now, there's only 4 on their team remaining, and there are still 8 of the enemy, and it's going to be really difficult for them to overcome 2-to-1 odds or 2-to-1 numbers. Here comes the T10. Yeah, he's down to 13% of his health, that T10. Oh, he just got taken out by the Scorpion G, who's sitting up there on the heights. Saw him and thought, well, I'll have you. Well, yes. There's a very satisfying clunk when you are driving a Scorpion G and you take out a target like that. But that's the end of the battle. We've run out of time and the team were unable to complete the mission and cap or kill all the opponents. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, this is news. Diving Ducks managed to get his first mark in the M40 M43, so congratulations. He also picked up a first class for that game, and he picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 13. On top of that, he got a Gore's medal for doing damage exceeding 10 times the hit points of his vehicle, and a Confederate medal because he did more damage to any other vehicles on the enemy team than any other vehicle on his own team. At least 6 tanks subsequently destroyed by other members, and we can see them listed there. In fact, he didn't get any kills at all, but what he did do is he did hit the enemy a lot. Now, let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't come top on damage. That went to the Scorpion. He managed to get 4,070 hit points. But he did come second with 3,607. He didn't get any kills, unfortunately. He was well down the table, mid-table with 0. But the Scorpion managed to get 4 and came top again. And when it came to base XP, well, he was top with 642 experience points. The Scorpion actually came second with 639. Now, on the detail report, he fired 10 rounds, got 8 direct hits, 8 penetrations, 3 splash damage. He did damage of 3,607 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit, and it was a penetration from the T10. He hit 7 of the enemy, but didn't kill any. But he did do stun assistance damage of 1,764 hit points off 11 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 49,429 credits, and because he managed to get an epic medal, even though they lost the game, he does get the achievements awards to equalise his score with that of the winning team. So he actually picks up an extra 5,038 credits, and that brings his total to 54,468. And after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he still walks away with a profit of 6,512. He received 963 experience points, but add to that the achievements award again, 549, bringing his total to 1,512. So it was a good game by Diving Duck to actually get the first mark of excellence, but unfortunately you just ran out of time, and I'm not sure that your team was really up to it, because they did have a fairly strong force in the northwest corner of the map, but they just got whittled away in the end, and they just didn't give you any protection, so you had to run away, and the T10 found you and caught you. So better luck next time. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in our next video.